Hello, chaps. Hello, hello. Just loading in. Oh, I didn't load my stream robot. Oh, we've got a few people here already. Chris, welcome back. Long time no see. Good to have you here. Geraldo, welcome. World Building Podcast, that's right. We're going to be talking about that soon. Saidan, thanks for joining us. Chris is here. He is indeed. And I am 1 minute late. Sorry. Sorry for my tardiness. And Crow. Hey, Crow. How are you guys doing? Busy week? Busy week? But we are here. I'm glad to have you here. How have all of you guys been? Oh, we don't have our stream music on. Let me get my stream music. There we go. Okay, we're in. Crow, Saidan, Chris, Haroldo, how are you guys doing? Today we are going to be doing a bit of an animation for the next video coming up, and we're going to be chatting a little bit about the podcast. I'm going to see what you guys think and see if maybe you guys can give me some cool ideas for the podcast. Let me know. So I'm working on this. Animation, like I said, for a little scene, but we'll talk about that in a second. Throndix, thanks for joining us. Daniel as well. I'm doing great, thank you. How are you guys? Lasercrow, I've been better, Badger friend. Just raging against my laptops, not letting me work on homework. Oh no, is it broken? Damn technology. At least the tactical duck support. What's wrong with your laptop, Crow? Here was our frog, the promised frog for today's stream. Cool frog who's going to be acting as a guide for these adventurers. This animation is going to be a little bit more complicated. It should be a fun one. Let's see how it goes. Oops. Twitch up. Twitch is going to be starting late. Oopsie. Look at my mic on. I do have my mic on. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, like I said, we're working on some working on a little animation today. So we'll be moving between this and Procreate Dreams. I might just be working on this today actually, see how much of this we can get done, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. Daniel, how are you doing, bud? How's Mini Bard 2 The Second Coming doing? She's doing great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, and I'm fine as well. Just a bit tired, but good tired. Not stress tired. I think it's just having a bab makes you tired, unfortunately. But very good, thanks. How are you, Daniel? Lasercrow, it's a laptop that I got from high school, and now it's been not connecting to the Wi-Fi. Ugh. Damn technology! Oh, we could be being tired. Excuse me. Blasted technology. Oops. Right, I think I'm going to separate this into 2 files. So I can start. So I can, because I've made it too big, and now I don't have enough space. So we're going to delete the first half. So with all of these, we'll just focus on the first one. Delete. Okay, this should be a bit easier. Throndix, well, I've been better, but I have definitely been worse. I got severe otitis. It's both ears. It's not too bad, but it was horrible on Friday. Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. Anything to do with ear infections or ear problems is always very awful. Sorry to hear that, mate. That's frustrating. I used to do a lot of spearfishing when I was at university. So I have lots of problems with my ears now as well. So I feel your pain. That and listening to loud music means that I cannot hear very well anymore, unfortunately. Spearfishing and freediving and scuba diving. I was good at scuba diving, but I was bad at spearfishing and freediving, so I just kind of messed up my ears. I get a lot of ear problems, unfortunately, so I feel your pain, Throndix. Hopefully it feels better. Sadan, I was sick and unable to eat from 3 AM to 5 PM. So buff it out. I made a full recovery. I made it for lost weight. Oh, good. I saw in the Discord, yeah, you said you weren't feeling well. What was wrong, Sadan? It was just like food poisoning or something. Glad you're feeling better, mate. I think any illness that just makes you puke lots is just horrible. Horrible, horrible. There's like nothing you can do when you just have no energy. But everyone's sick. It's like an infection of the ear which makes your ears hurt like crazy and you got a terrible headache and stuff. Oh gosh. That's awful. I hope you feel better soon, mate. Then all I'm going to say is we have Minibard 1, the firstborn, and Minibard 2, the second coming. When are you going to do? When are you two going to release Minibard 3, Quest for Blood? I think, especially my wife, who's very tired, is not keen for Minibard 3, Quest for Blood, unfortunately. Sorry to disappoint. That's what we said with after Minibard 1. And of course, that didn't work out. I'm very happy to have Minibard 2 here, of course. I don't suppose any of you guys are parents, are you? I think just me alone in my suffering. Well, I can't really say suffering. It's not too bad. Luckily, Minibard 2 is very healthy and happy. And Minibard 1 is a very good big sister. So, makes things a lot easier for sure. During a pig mercenary protecting this rich lady, and they have a frog guide to guide them through the swamps. That is very important, as you'll find out during the story. We'll block in all this colour, and then we'll start doing some colouring. I have no idea what it was. Thanks medication. Thanks to medication, I did not dehydrate to death. Oh, that's good. Strange. Stomach bug. Oh dear. Don't see. Like I said, it's basically gone now. I still got my head feeling weird, but yeah, basically gone. Glad to hear it. Hopefully, it'll be fully gone as soon as possible. I'm not looking forward to winter. It's going to be 6th season with 2 children in the house, it is inevitable that someone is going to get sick. We've got a few people in the chat. I'll show you guys my animation so far. It's not super exciting. Hey. Did I duplicate it? Oh, I did. Oh my god, that scared me. Oh, I just wasted loads of time. That would have been scary. Oh. Okay, I'll show you guys the animation. Let's see if I can say it. Okay, we'll do... I think if I try to export, it'll help me do it better. Okay. So, essentially, this is like a little animation about a crew who goes to the Swamps of Icenia. They sat around a campfire, and they have this. So it's like 2 mercenaries and this rich woman who are going looking for something in the Swamps of Icenia. So they have a frog guide with them. The frog guide goes off hunting for dinner, and when he comes back, one of the mercenaries is missing. He's like, okay, where's he gone? And the woman's like, oh, he went into the bush to pee. And the frog's like, I told you not to get close to the water. And she was like, we told him that, but he was drunk. And he's like, okay, well, too bad. I guess we won't be seeing him again. She's like, what do you mean? And the frog's like, okay, he's definitely dead. So then it cuts to the mercenary here. He's doing a pee. He's like, do. He's singing a little song because he's drunk. He hears some rustling and he looks up and there's something in the reeds which he can't quite see. He's like, what the hell's that? It comes through a bit closer and it's a dragonfly nymph. And he's like, oh my gosh, my gun is by my light. He's like, okay, I'm gonna run. And he tries to run away. Dragonfly nymph comes forward. Grabs him, he's like, ah! I think it's dragged into the water. Never to be seen again. So that's the idea with the... Oh, no. That's the idea with the animation. We'll see how well it goes. I'm going to do... just going to duplicate this. It's a bit more of a complicated one than the one I did for the previous video. So hopefully it's still effective, but we'll see. So I'll call this one second half. Call this one back up. Call this one first half. Just so we understand what's going on. Dragonfly dragon. I need to do like an insect dragon at some point. I think quite a few people have asked for them, and I agree that it would be very cool. So I think it's quite the obligation. Right, we do need to colour these parts separately. Actually, I'm going to do this guy's arm separately because he's going to be like poking the fire as the frog kind of comes over. Too powerful. Dragonfly nymph, let's go. Yeah. Throndix nymph, is that a new thing? So, yeah, so Sidon says, nymph is a larval dragonfly. I spelled it wrong. Damselfly. Yeah, I agree. Cool animation, thanks. Yeah, so Throndix, if you look up nymph, like, it's like, how do you spell it? N, nymph. We say, dragonfly. Nymph. So it's spelled like that. And essentially they're like little baby, like Sidon said, it's like a larval stage of a dragonfly, and they're pretty scary. They eat fish, and they eat beetles, and they're like predators, but they got kind of scary faces. So I thought like a really big one of them would be cool. And they have these jaws, like I've tried to show here. you have these jaws that kind of extend. So like at the bottom here, oops, you see at the bottom, these are his like jaws, and they start to extend here, and then like as he's running away, this is like a very sketchy start, so I'm obviously going to improve on this. So you can see his jaws here, and they like come out and like latch onto him, and then drag him back, and then munch. Quick bite, he's like screaming, ah! And then quick bite, and then he's just instantly dead. And then there'll be another picture after that of him kind of, you'll hear him like, you'll see it just slowly going into the water, getting dragged away. Yeah. Pretty cool. Of a fly dragon that craves sweat for salt. That could be pretty cool as like, oh, that's actually not a bad idea, blank. Like an animal that typically likes salt. That lives in like a salt mine or something. Dragonfly, dragon of speed, yeah. Bug dragon. Remember now. Terrifying little predators. Creatures, exactly right, yeah. They're pretty scary. Carpenter bee dragon, that's a cool idea. Apex predator, is that right? I was thinking that so this video is going to be about the swamps of Icenia again, but it's going to be the fauna and flora of the swamps of Icenia. So, because I think I watched a video by Eternal Ruin like ages ago, and he does like fauna and flora videos, and I was like, oh man, that's so cool, I'm gonna do the same thing. So that's the plan, and it's gonna be, hopefully it's gonna be good. We'll see. Interesting to see them turn into a shore-based ambush predator. Yeah, so I was like, oh, you know, I was trying to think of like I guess like stuff that'd be underwater, so maybe they would attack a boat. But I thought just like a silent, giant insect that just like, you know, creeps towards you through the reeds was a nice like visceral image. So I thought that'd be cool. So we're going with that. These purple bits are going to be animated. This is a rat, he's cool. Like a giant vole. It's going to be a nice bright fire in the middle. In fact, let's get rid of... These ones need to be in front of the fire. Could change the colour. Right, so that works out. I made Dragonfly Flay. Yeah, blank. I really liked your stories about the Dragonfly Flay. I thought they were cool. It's a cool idea. Okay. I'm hoping this video doesn't take too long. I might be being a bit over ambitious with this one, but I'm going to do like I did with the last one. It's going to be like simple colours. And again, I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. Let's see how we do. So we're kind of sat on some rocks. And we're sat around this fire. Got a bottle of booze. It's got the spill on the floor. Let's see how this works out. They eat bugs, fish, tadpoles, smaller dragonfly nymphs, damselflies nymphs. Oh gosh, they eat everything. Dragonfly, dragon of swift travel. Dragonfly, dragon of the wind and waters. These are cool names. Dragonflies have amazing vision. The dragon of sight sounds cool. I have to write down these names. So we're having a dragonfly thing. It's very cool. Dragonfly nymphs are already ambush predators. I know because I have one for a while and feed it. It was interesting seeing it hunt. Oh gosh. Did it turn into a dragonfly in the end, Daniel? You seem to like them. Assumption is correct. Maybe a wyvern version of them. They have 2 wings. Yes, semi-translucent wings. I want them to just. I don't want them to just be like the normal animal, because I feel like the normal one itself is pretty scary. In fact, let's duplicate this. And this one. I'm going to turn. This external bit. This one. Oops. We're efficient with this colouring. Standard Frogs of War orange uniform, English Civil War uniform, as is tradition. So that works out. Wyvern version of them, Bard, has nothing to do with your world. I think. Ah, okay. They have a larval form. Yes, they start off with in the water with soft scales that harden as they grow. That's cool. Now I released it into the wild. The place where it was living got dried out, so I rescued it and kept it on a small environment and fed it for a while. Even saw the thing molt. I relocated it in another place with good body of water, but it was an interesting experience. Yeah. Yeah, I heard they can live up to like a year or something, as like in that stage. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Daniel. But yeah, it's kind of creepy. I wouldn't want to be ambushed by one myself. Zoom through this colouring and get it down to like a good kind of hue until we're like kind of happy with everything, and then we will move on to actually trying to do the animation. Piggy boy. Should be the same color as this rock, I guess. And shoot this one. She needs to have. In fact, she's like a white. Red. Like a nicer, richer red. There we go. She's a rich lady. A nice hat as well. Okay, sorry, I'm talking very quietly. Some species can live up to 10 years, isn't it? That's crazy. I wonder if in this setting has any invasive dragons, like a dragon not of this land's trying to conquer. That is a cool idea, like an invading dragon. I'm definitely going to go into foreign nymphs a bit more. Foreign dragons a bit more in the future. We'll see. We'll come back to it eventually, I think. I need to make a new palette. Right, so we've got his. We'll do frog first. So frog. 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 Frog and frog and frog. In fact, we'll swap that just here. Right. Pig. 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 Rock. Bottle. Back. Okay. Oh, and the woman as well. Woman. She's gonna have a because she's rich. She's gonna have a pre-tech eye as well, just to be cool. Okay. Right, that'll be a good way to do it. That they can live as a nymph for that long makes sense, as a lot of insects starting off as aquatic larvae live most of their lives like that. I didn't know that. That's interesting. It makes you wonder why they change into dragonflies if they're so, or like into flying creatures. If they're so successful as, like in their larval stage, what's the point? Why not just stay that way? I think maybe a little less dragons, a little more normal people. It's been quite centered around them. Sure, they are fan favorite, but spreading love to other forms of life could be nice. I agree. To be honest with you guys, I think the YouTube algorithm loves dragons. I think that's just a fact. It's quite unavoidable. But if I'm honest, I like drawing the dragons, but I want to draw other stuff as well. I have so many ideas for different cool stuff, so I definitely want to get around to that. So I definitely want to get around to that eventually, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm get some reference pictures on my computer. So the swamps of Icenia are based on the Norfolk Broads, which is like a bit like the Netherlands. It's a bit like Holland. It's very swampy, and it's got a lot of like flat areas with like rivers and fens, and pretty cool. So that's the whole basis of the swamps of Icenia. Oops. Let's get the reeds in the background. Not too important that these are consistent. They just need to look kind of reedy. Get rid of a few more of them so it's further back. Do another one. Does that kind of some muddy ground. Oh, lots of messages. The nymph I had hid beneath a small rock and attacked whenever food got close enough. It would freaking stalk them before launching an attack and feed it bloodworms, damsel nymphs, etc. That is so... it's kind of creepy. Like that they would stalk through the water as well. Not a bad idea, to be fair, Simon. I agree. I think it's a good idea. That's what axolotl and water bugs thought. Yeah, I think that's the point. They live so long, and then so we can just stay that way. It'll be better. The point, my friend, is reproduction, like every living thing. Yeah, but you know, like mammals, they become an animal, but they don't have like a larval stage. I suppose that's normal for insects, right? Across the board. Not the best biologists. I made a character with a robotic eye that acts as a spotter for artillery. Very cool. Is it like a rangefinder? Silent. Axolotl dragon would be fascinating, but they live in Mexico. Mexico is definitely one I want to look into, just because, like I said, this time period is based off of like 17th century, and that's like the end of the obviously Spanish Portuguese conquest of the Americas. So I think it'd be cool to explore that region. But that is for my book, or my like TTRPG thing in the future, I think. I'm not doing a very good job of just getting this done quickly, am I? Okay. Alright, so I can start to do some of these other colours. Mud. Mud. And grass. Okay. This guy. So again, we need to... Gosh, this is going to take a long time to animate. It'll look cool. It'll be worth it. Like I said, very simple colours now. And then we'll do the complex colours. We'll only do like a couple of tones for all of the animations. So I think they just need to kind of give a vibe, right? It's not important that they are super complicated. It just needs to be... needs to just be fun. Oh, do you know what? I might actually... I don't know if I told you guys this one. For this animation, I'm also thinking of trying to convince my wife to do the rich woman character. I don't know. I don't know how keen she would be to voice a character in my stories, but we'll see. We'll see if she's interested, because that could be just a little fun extra voice to have in the video. I missed some messages here. I guess the evolve into dragonflies for mating purposes. It's easier to find a partner if you can fly and you can impress them with how well-being if you're massive and full of colours. Very true. Absolutely. That's a good point, Thrundix. Also, reproduction dragonfly is interesting depending on the species. You know a lot about dragonflies, Daniel. Any idea? Idea. Very good. Like some species need to maintain a big chunk of river as they are hunting grounds and be able to drive off competitors for the females to be interested. Well, Daniel the dragonfly nerd is some neat lore. It is. I like this. I appreciate this lore. He's in fact a rangefinder amongst a few things called. Mr. Lou, hello. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing? I'm just drawing some pictures for a little animation we have going of a little group by the swamp getting ambushed. Or at least one of them is getting ambushed. Dragonfly dragon called the Beholder would go hard. Guys, it's sad, but I have to. I fear I must merge all my 20 layers of my drawing, or else my tablet is going to spontaneously combust. The layer merge. Very deadly. I had to do that before I split this animation in half, because I didn't have enough... the image was too big. I make the animations too big, I think. I need to go down to A4, because they're all like A3. Make things a lot easier. What was I doing? Oh yeah, colouring. Pig is red. It's a big boy. Just do all of this. This makes it easier. We'll do the pink after. There we go. I'll do frog. Yeah, frog next. Same again. I'm going to speed run this. So this colouring stage is not super important. It's just necessary so we have a better idea of what's going on. We haven't coloured our little possum. A little, not possum, a little rat. Oops. And it's like a giant water vole that he's kind of captured. Oops. I'm still getting used to this whole animation thing. It's very fun. It's a lot more work. But I think in the future, I definitely want to do a lot of animation, I think, if I can. Is it that colour? Oh no, it's this one. Rich red. Back. There we go. We'll do we'll do the texture and everything afterwards. We'll sort that out later. I have to transfer all of this over. It's gonna be very annoying. Turtle and beer. There we go. And this guy's a backpack as well. Nice. Okay, we've got 2 layers. Not doing too bad. Mr. Louis, good to have you here. I found the channel a few weeks ago. It's my first stream. Well, good to have you in, mate. Appreciate you being here. Good, the stream is fun. He's right, 2 Dragon Gods later. Nice. Welcome to the Bards community. I highly recommend joining the Discord. Thanks, Rondix. Thanks for the advertising. Yeah, jump on in, Mr. Louis. I think we've got a nice community in there. And everyone shares their art and their pictures and everything, so it's always good to have more faces in the group. Blank was struggling with one of their designs. Needs to be Eldritch. Interesting. Welcome to our grove of fey creatures. Daniel, I know some bug species that are an absolute menace already. In the acceleration setting, they would go so hard, like the bird-eating tarantula. Yeah, you know, I think this is one of the big inspirations for why I started this whole thing. It's just like how cool it would be if just normal animals were much bigger, because animals are scary enough as it is. You know, we talked about the shrike, the impaling bird. But again, imagine a shrike, but the size of like a horse. Very scary. So I think definitely insects, just animals like that don't have logic or reason, they just eat, would be terrifying. Thronic, beat me to it. A new frog in our pond. Yes, a new frog warrior. Throndix, appreciate you being the Discord advertiser. Very, very good. There's a Discord. I must join. Yeah, Mr. Lou, if you check, there is a link. Oh, I'll send you a link. I'm not gonna be lazy. I'll send you one over. Let me go and grab one for you, if you're interested. Like I said, we've got a good community there, and everyone likes to chat and share projects and stuff. So it's a good place to hang out. Sidon, you've lost your crown. Sorry to tell you. Bird eater should never have been part of a spider's name. I think in the acceleration, a bird-eating spider would end up being like a horse-eating spider. Or an elephant-eating spider. Because they'd be so big. You can share your own world in building project on it. Yeah, absolutely. Always happy to see new worlds. Tarantulas are chill. Are you familiar with world building, Mr. Louis? Perhaps you have a world of your own. Yes, Phoenix, I'm working on my own world. Love world building. So fun. Nice. What's your world about, Mr. Louis? Can you give us a summary of your world? Imagine giant trapdoor spiders. Gods, that would be scary. I think any like giant ambush creatures would be horrible, right? I'm trying to think of other examples. Like giant snakes or praying mantises. Like giant praying mantises. They would be awful. Centipedes would be scary. What other trap animals would be scary? There'd be loads and loads of animals that would just be terrifying. Just as big as they are. Okay, I'm gonna have some simple animations here. Have a very fancy hat, because a fancy hat means you are rich, of course. We've got a lot of people here. I think I'll talk a bit about the podcast, if everyone's keen to hear it. Bracken, you almost forgot some share their writing. Yes, sorry, Saidan. Yeah, and Mr. Louis, I would say, if you're writing or if you're drawing pictures, whatever you're doing, is a good place to share. I think there's a lot of writers actually in the Discord now. Lots of artists, but a lot of writers as well. And that would be beyond terrifying with the trigger webs everywhere, so they know when where you're at all the time. Absolutely. It's like that film that's set in like the mining town in the US. Can anyone remind me the name of that film? It's about the giant spiders that are in that mining town. It's like a experiment gone wrong or something. What's it called? I can't remember. Ten people. Yeah, I've got a few people in today. Imagine you walking around the woods when you realise that the thing you're walking in isn't soil. You only had a moment to comprehend your mistake before the earth opens and you are dragged inside. Oh my god, that's awful. Like some long hairy legs in the darkness below. Oh, don't say that. That is actually terrifying. God, that would be so... Like, it's difficult to imagine how terrifying that would be. But it's like, you know, in a world like this where there's just giant creatures, everything would be scary. Humans would be... I think it's something I say in like the introduction on my YouTube. It's like humans are not at the top of the food chain, and in fact, they're nowhere near the top. They're just they're kind of screwed. Do a quick, very broad stroke here. Forgetting I need to do the underneath first. We'll start transferring some of this through to the animation studio in a minute. Procreate Dreams. Just do a couple more frames and then bring it across. House centipedes. Oh yeah. Oh, gross. Ew. I'm starting to regret wanting to draw a hunter on my YouTube banner. You can do it, Throndix. I believe in you. Keep going. I have to spend the next week trying to get a man shooting a bow to look good. You can do it. Yeah, we've got little centipedes in the UK. Saidan. They're very small. Not like jungle centipedes, but I still hate centipedes for sure. And Mr. Louis is set in an ish void called the Pressure. Oxygen is a key resource for survival, and the people who live there live in small pockets of oxygen. Ooh, that sounds cool. So it's like a sci-fi, like apocalypse type thing. People just live in like a difficult lifestyle type thing. Sounds interesting. Do you do much art, Mr. Louis? Or is it just, are you a writer? The Pressure. That is a cool name. Like it's invasive, is it? I didn't realize that. Yeah, centipedes are awful. I saw some in Borneo. We would like clear. I did some like a little expedition there, and we would clear these like big piles of wood, and one of them would sprint out. And despite the fact that you're obviously 10 times the size of this thing, and even though the fact that it's huge, it would still go for you. And apparently they hurt like hell if they bite you. So you'd be running away from these huge, like really long insects that are just gunning to desperately bite you. They were horrible. Very, very horrible. What colour was that little rat? I'll just use the rock colour, that's fine. Be lazy. Like I said, let's do a couple more frames and then we will jump into the next part. Just make these two bags the same colour so I don't get confused. No, it's fine. I'll just do a different colour. Don't like creatures like that. Fast enough that if they were a troll or a giant, they would be essentially a train. Yeah, oh gosh. I think I did draw a giant centipede at one point. I don't really like the picture, so I haven't really shared it much, but I think it is in like maybe the giant video. I can't remember. I found it is sci-fi horror. Hell yeah. You do the art too. Nice. I love sci-fi horror. Mr. Louis, do you play any TTRPGs? There's a very good horror system called Mothership. I just bought the box for it. I'm hoping to run a game for my brother soon, if I can. But it seems like a really cool system. Anyway, I know how to write scary stuff. I have a man trapped in a snake body with no arms, no legs, no actual useful knowledge at 50 kilometers underground in a different reality with hungry old things lurking. Oh my gosh. It sounds like a horrible existence. In the shadows with hungry eyes and drooling maws. Does the bard call a centipede an insect? Silly me. Very naughty. Trees that suck nutrients out of your soil. That's cool. Blank. That is very cool. Why doesn't that work? There we go. Okay. Now we might as well finish these. You know, I'm gonna be lazy. It's a good trick you can use. Take this. It's big. Horizontally. We'll distort it. Speaking of, have you heard of the game Mouthwashing, Lou? Silent 2. You sci-fi addict. It's a great horror game in a very spooky sci-fi world. Mouthwashing. I have heard that. Is that like the really psychedelic video game? Mouthwashing. Yeah, I saw that on the Steam page today, actually. That does look cool. I like the art style. Well, the way they do it is sinking you into the bark and everything is harvested. Your corpse hangs as a mummified husk. Good lord. That sounds cool. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about today is, as I've gathered you all here, is the idea behind this podcast. So I've been talking with a couple of people, and I thought a cool idea would be to make a little podcast where I would invite YouTubers in like the world building scene to kind of talk about world building in general. So we'd like talk about how they got into world building themselves, and also I would ask them about a specific element related to their project, their world building project. So, for example, if I was to ask someone who is writing a TTRPG, just as an example, I would, again, ask them how they kind of got into it, about their art style, but then I would also ask them about things like, the necessity, the things you need to consider if you're writing a world-building project for a TTRPG, for example. Or if it was someone who was making a world-building project for a video game, I would ask them about things like the necessity to consider video game mechanics when writing your world-building project, for example. Like having to fit that into the project as well as obviously writing the project itself. So, I'm not sure how long the podcast is going to be. I want to keep it quite short, but I've got like a bunch of questions I want to ask each person, plus their kind of individual questions. So I want to I like quite short podcasts that are like less than an hour. So I might try and do it like 45 minutes to an hour for each interview. And yeah, I think it could be a cool idea. I think it could be a cool way to kind of touch base with more world builders, whilst also kind of staying true to the channel. I don't want to just start doing something random and getting distracted. I feel like it's still relevant to the channel, and it would obviously help me because I'd be able to speak to these big names and get some advice from them, but it'd also be able to hopefully help the community, because then people could kind of listen to them and see how they did it, and hopefully it would inspire people to start doing it themselves down the line. So that's the idea. Yeah, it's like it's very much a work in progress. I've kind of written up a bunch of questions already, but it's an idea. And like I said, I've got 3 people who they've kind of agreed to do it, which is great. So I'm gonna speak to them, and as like the first 3, and I'm thinking about doing them one every month, to hopefully get a like a good consistent roster of podcast episodes on the go. And I think it would mean that I don't, it's like interesting because that I have enough time to prepare a podcast for every month, and every month it's like a different subject and something cool to listen to. B, because the video is going to be a much longer format than my normal videos, so my videos are like 6-7 minutes. It will mean, again, I have more time to prepare. C, it means I can continue making the videos, my normal videos, because I'm not going to stop doing that. That's the thing I enjoy most. And then D, to be honest with you guys, because I appreciate you guys being here, it would be a better way to seek out sponsors for the channel. Because with my current videos, they're quick 6-minute videos, and I can't really stick an advert in the middle of them. It would just be a bit strange to have like an ad in the middle of like a Ranger video just explaining lore, especially if it's only 6 minutes long and I have like a 30-second advert in the middle. I feel like you guys wouldn't appreciate that, which is fair enough. And B, and so like something that's a longer form content, is if it's like 45 minutes or an hour and it's just like a 30-second advert in the middle. I feel like that's a much more appropriate place for an advertisement, and I feel like it doesn't, it won't take away from the episodes. It will just be a quick thing, and it just means, and like, advertisers would be like, okay, cool, that sounds good. We don't want to be in the middle of your 6-minute video. We want to be in the middle of your 45-minute podcast. What do you guys think? Let me know. Oh, there's lots of messages. Okay. Gives me shivers every time I remember that story. I have a Shrike that hunted people in Space Vietnam. Space Vietnam. That's Malevolent Creek, isn't it? In Helldivers 2. That's what they call Space Creek. The podcast. Yes. The bartender British Andrew Tate. Do not, Sidan. Please do not insult me. I think it's a, I don't want to be like a podcast bro, but if I want to be like, if I want to do this channel seriously, I can't just make videos like this. It needs to be sustainable, and I need to consider kind of the future of the channel. And to be honest, podcasts are like massive content. It's like things that people do consume a lot. It's things that advertisers like, and personally, I listen to a lot of podcasts, mostly D&D ones. But it's like it's the perfect time to kind of just binge content, and I listen to a lot of ones about art and things like that as well. So and I appreciate it because it gives you a lot of information. So that would be the main purpose of it, is just to have information, and none of it would be locked behind a paywall. The idea, I haven't done this frog's eyes. He needs to have beautiful eyes. What colour can we do his eyes? Let's do them gold. An important thing would be that none of it would be locked behind a paywall. It would all be available on YouTube, on like Spotify, on Apple Music, etc. And so it would be, if I had like a big creator come on, and their people like from their YouTube channel wanted to consume their advice, it wouldn't be locked behind a paywall. I might do like a Patreon where it's like released like a month early or something, but nothing more than that. I don't want to, like I said, I wouldn't want to lock anything behind a paywall. So the objective would be, oh, is that hidden? The objective would be for everything to be accessible to everyone, and then just to make money through the advertisements and stuff like that. But yeah, what do you think? Interesting. Good. You thank him. Well, I'm glad you're excited, Tronix. I appreciate the enthusiasm, and it inspires me to crack on. Peter. The bar just make a 69 joke. Now you sound like my language teacher. There you go. To notify the duck to get interviewed. Exactly. I'm going to interview a lot of people. To be honest, I've made a list. I'm not going to reveal the list because I don't want to be disappointed if people say no. And luckily, 3 people have already said yes. But I will be making a list. I've got quite a few people on there. Enough for like a couple years worth of content. So a lot of people. But again, the objective would be for it to obviously be good, a variety of content with a bunch of different people and different people with different interests and different so it wouldn't be just the same questions every week with the same answers every week, you know what I mean? So we'll see. Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea, and I think it's a good development for the channel, and it's a good way to move forward with the Discord, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good idea. That's my 2 cents. Mr. Lou, are you making podcasts? Yes. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. I think it would be interesting. I don't know. But it obviously sounds great. Good. Yeah. If you get sponsors, it's even better. Exactly. And at the end of the day, if I'm sponsored, it just means I can make more art. And that's the whole thing. It's like I would like to do the podcast, and I speak to people every day as part of my job, and I feel like I wouldn't be a terrible podcaster, I think. And so again, I think it's just kind of a natural transition for the channel, maybe. Good for you, because I doubt the usual videos are a great source of income. Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, the short form videos are kind of good because it means people can consume them really quickly. But I mean, they're just kind of impossible to monetize, I think, for sure. It would just end up just. I don't think people would really be interested in it, and even if I did monetize them, I don't think they would make a lot of money. And at the end of the day, I do want to do the channel full time. So I think it's an important transition. Mr. Lou, how are you people? What do you think? I have been thinking of a little Christmas challenge. I called in December, where I write a story every day in December. Interesting. That sounds cool. Yeah, I wanted to do a group Christmas challenge because we Mr. Louis, we did a challenge called Faytober, so it was like the Inktober challenge, and a bunch of the guys participated with like stories and art over on the Discord, and it was awesome. I think it was like so fun, and it was nice to see everyone's art, and I think everyone. I think we had 6 people who managed to finish 50%, but a bunch of people participated. So it was really awesome to see. Everyone did such a great job. She looks a bit sad. I need a reference for this woman's face. We'll see. Sadam, which means if he does this, he can be in the content-making dungeon for longer and not have to do minor things like working. That's going to be his life. Saidan, you understand me very well. That's exactly it. If I could, I would not work. I would just draw pictures all day and not have to do silly things like have a job. 'Cause, to be honest, I don't mind teaching English, but I prefer to draw pictures every day. Draw frogs with nice hats and horrible monsters. That would be a cool job. I think it's a good transition into like a monetized system. Mr. Louis, nice, I love podcasts. Great. So at least I have one listener, Mr. Louis. I might actually join you in that. Louis, I need motivation to write my project. Oh, nice. You got a few people in your Christmas plan. Mr. Louis, write your idea in the Discord. If you pop it in the general chat, we'll see if we can get a few people together. And I'm sure a bunch of these guys would be up for joining your challenge. We can make a little tab for it, and everyone can jump in. Second community challenge, perhaps. Exactly. Even the bards agreeing to this madness. I think it's a cool idea. I would say with the Faytober challenge, we did it where we did one picture every 2 days. And the idea was that it would give people enough time to kind of get stuff done. So I don't know if you want to do that, Miss Louis. Could be an interesting way to do it. Always up for community challenges. I think they're just fun, and it gets people engaged, and it gets people making art. Like the Faytober stuff that some people did that pretty much everyone did actually was just really cool, very creative, and lots of different ideas. So I'm always up for seeing different challenges for December. I'm not doing a lot of writing myself, but I might try and join in with the challenge, see if I can get some of them done as well. I'm hoping to get the first podcast episode recorded soon. That's kind of the priority, and then trying to get this next video out soon as well. So definitely up for doing a little bit of writing though. Pre-tech eye, of course, needs a bit of blue. Needs to be shinier. Why is that so pale? What's wrong with that? There we go. There we go. A bit too dramatic. Don't really like that. Let's just do a bright blue color. There you go. She's rich, so she has a nice one. Right, let me catch up with these messages. Eldritch, yeah. Here's some Eldritch stories. I'm up for that. Deities, yes please, blank. Let me just see that. Bards, dragons have trillions of rich. It would fit into my world, just not feeling it. Also, the Faytober prompt really helped me with working on my drawing skills, so why not in December if drawing counts? Yeah, why not? I think it's cool. Good idea. He's doing a podcast now. Yeah, Duck. I'm trying to think of a way to, you know, do a bit more with the channel, and of course to monetize it, which is very important if I want to eventually quit my job. And I think the best route to that is through something consumable like a podcast that people would also, that could also be sponsored. Essentially, that's the main idea. And we'll figure that eye out afterwards. I feel like this yellow is messing with it. So the plan is to make some podcast episodes where I'd interview world builders and find out about their process. And I think it'd be like a good opportunity for people to learn from the world building community, and hopefully inspire more people to become world builders. Because I don't have enough world building content on YouTube. I keep looking for more people and I cannot find them, and it's very frustrating. I binge every world building YouTube video there is, and there's nothing left, unfortunately. Heavily scarred. Because scars are cool. We're going to do shadows and everything afterwards. Alright, almost finished this. We can jump into the animation. To redraw some of these pictures because they're not perfectly drawn, but again, for an animation it doesn't need to be perfectly drawn, I think. I'd recommend posting the vid first. Would help you gain publicity, which would mean more of your original subscribers, which mean I was one of your original subscribers, which draws people to read my project. Thank you for your selfless advice, Saidan. Very appreciated. I have very much appreciated you being here the whole time. All of you guys. I think pretty much all of you have been here from the start. So, hopefully, if the acceleration takes off, you guys can utilize your position at the top of the Discord pecking order to your advantage. I was trying to think of some other ideas for the channel. I'm still working on the book. I've rethought up a few ideas for that, the TTRPG, because I'm not very good at writing rules, and I've made an effort to do it, and it just doesn't look very good. So I'm thinking instead I am going to do a what do I call it? I am going to do, let me think, a system. I can't remember what it's called. I'm hopefully going to make a system neutral, that's the word, system neutral TTRPG at some point. So it's essentially going to work like an art book that will be like also a TTRPG guide. So it will have like classes, and it'll have locations and monster manual and all these kind of things. But it wouldn't have any rules or things that people would need to follow. So the idea would be that people could use it for whatever they like, without having to, learn the rules of this new game. And it would mean that I don't have to write any rules, which is very important. So that's another idea, but that's a lot further down the line as well. Do this what is that, 70%? So that's an idea for further down the line as well. But again, it's just trying to find things I can do related to the project, because I think at this stage, I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, which to be honest isn't a lot compared to some people, but I would say it also is quite a lot, and I think I'm getting to the point where I'm perhaps going to be able to hopefully monetize it at some point in the near future, through like ad revenue and things like that. So we'll see. I think that's an important thing to consider as well. How did I paint over that layer? That was silly. Oops. Never mind. Yeah, what do you guys think? I think it's a good idea. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I think I'll do the first 3 interviews. We'll see what people think. If it's a bit of a disaster, or if it just it falls a bit flat, I'll just come back and do this and maybe work a bit harder on the book. But I mean, if it works out, awesome. I think it would just be cool to touch base again with other world builders and just have that opportunity to talk to people. Hopefully. What did I say, 70%? I need to post my Elvish language in the Discord. Yes, please. Money, money, money. Exactly. Well, Duck, I'm made a list of people. I've got 3 interviews on the go already, so I think I may need your assistance at some point. We'll see. I want to do a real variety of YouTubers. Again, just to get as much advice and information from as many people as possible. That would be the main thing. Shadows make everything better. Look, with shadow, without shadow, with shadow, without shadow. Immediately better. We'll do some highlights afterwards as well. But I've missed a lot from chat. Let me catch up with chat, and then I will continue drawing. The first of us to peruse YouTube, hopefully not the last. I agree, definitely. I think all of your guys' projects sound so interesting and so in depth and so well thought out. I feel like you guys should be making YouTube videos for sure. Yes, Duck, you do need to make a video on your Penetaries. I think the art you posted the other day was really cool. I like the gas. I like the World War I vibe mixed with the medieval vibe. I think that's a good way to do, like a cool art style, a cool like system. Duckist Bar, do you have a suggestion for video editing software? DaVinci Resolve. It is free, and it is very good. It's a bit complicated, but you get used as soon as you. This is going to sound silly. It's complicated, but as soon as you're used to it, it's not complicated anymore. Which is a very obvious thing to say, but when you like open it up and you look at it, you're like, oh my god. And then as soon as you start using it, you're like, oh, okay. Actually, I only need these 5 things. I don't need anything else. It's great. It's really, really good. It does require a bit of an okay computer to run. I had it crash quite a lot before. It seems to be okay now. I think I moved it to my SSD and it's much better. But it's great. It's an awesome free bit of kit, so definitely a high recommendation. Turn up here because of Monster Garden. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, it was during the Monster Garden raid. Long ago. It was very nice of him to do that. That's the kind of thing as well I want to consider as well, is just the fact that, you know, other people in the community are making an effort to kind of spread the good word of world building, and I would like to be one of them people as well. Because it doesn't seem to be it's still a bit of a niche subject in the YouTube sphere. Do you know what, actually, I'm going to make her eye separate and have it like kind of flicker for the animation. What's it doing? Cut paste. So it'll be like if I duplicate it, and something those lines. Okay, in fact, we'll erase this one a little bit so it's not completely blank behind, but it's still a little bit blank. And then, yeah, okay, we'll add a little bit of animation to it. Okay, she's looking cool. Then we kind of need to make her look cool in this one as well, and to give her at least the blue eye. Hope I'm not going to run out of layers here. Pretty cool. Oh, I love shadows. I'm still trying to get better at light, but light is the best. It makes such a big difference for sure. Oh, sorry, I got distracted again. I'm supposed to be looking through the chat. I'm looking right now while I was cleaning what? What are you cleaning, Daniel? I should really adapt my D&D world into a setting. You should. I love it when people do like custom TTRPG stories. Like they've like edited the Forgotten Realms, or they've just done it in the world of Invader Zim or something. It's always interesting to read. It's almost like fan fiction, but a lot more better worked. Monster Garden Giving You Announcement has like changed a bunch of stuff for me. Man, he's such a legend. He shouts out loads of channels, and a lot of small channels like mine, which is good. think it does make a big difference. So the second one, now that's probably huge, not the biggest Monster Gun fan now, that I think about it. Your setting reminds me of his. I think, you know, the Monster Gun has like inspired a lot of people on here. I think that's why. That's why. Prize. I think it's because it had Dragon in the title, but it seems to have done quite well. It's got me up to 2K, which is pretty cool. So I'm very happy with that. Um, 1,000 is a lot, I agree. 2K is a hell of a lot, I agree. Yeah, I'm very proud of getting to 2K. I think it's the only project I've done in a very long time, which I've actually managed to stick to. So I'm very proud of that. So I'm very happy with my 2K. You two. Love this constant battle. Who's number one now? It's Lazy Crow. Good job, Crow. It's a naughty bird. What does it keep? Am I cutting out? Please tell me if the stream is cutting out at all. I don't know if it's something wrong with my internet. Okay, I have to catch up here. The Pretec Noble Face looking nice. Yeah. Not bad, right? Quite happy with that. Shading really does just make a huge difference. It's one of those things that I think they teach as a principle in illustration and like art for a reason. It's like crazy important how big of a difference it makes. Lazy Crow, well, my friends, I'm working on the night while I cry that I cannot use my computer. Oh, sorry, mate. But you do a lot of stuff by hand, Crow. That's always good. Concern DaVinci Resolve, it's complicated, but it's free. Exactly. Really recommend it. I've used it for all my videos from the start and not had to pay a penny, which is great. I might actually subscribe to it because I like it so much. I'm willing to pay for it. And it's not Adobe, which is very important. Eater of Light, Body of Shadows, Morrow Serpent, those are cool names. World building is definitely a niche, but man, it's cool. I agree. I think it's one of those things that's still like a small niche. I think if you guys do want to get into YouTube, you should do it with world building, and you should do it as soon as possible. Because I feel like it's one of those things that people will catch up with it eventually. It's going to be a big, maybe it's just me hoping, so my channel takes off, but I feel like it's one of those channels, those genres that hasn't really been tapped. Duck, please have a good REM sleep, my friend. You need to sleep. Duck, you should sleep. Don't stay up all night playing Minecraft. It's not good for your brain. Is Asperdrake making a poem or like a summoning ritual? What are you talking about, Blank? Infernal Crocodile. These dragon names. These are all very cool. Infernal Croc, God of Greed. Hill Rapper. Just naming ideas I thought of that. They do sound like cool ideas. Stream is lagging. Oh dear. Yeah, I think it might be my bad internet. I have very good internet, but I've just been having problems with it recently. It's just very frustrating. So I apologise if it's cutting out a little bit. I'm putting name titles for my draconic gods, so I think about them. Blank, and this is a good idea for everyone actually. If you have a world building project, I recommend using Figma, another free tool online, to kind of do your mind map for your world building project. I got that advice from Winter. I had a chat with like those guys last week, and Winter says he uses Figma, and so I just started using it, and it's awesome. It's so good. I had everything on a Google Doc before, and it's made like a massive difference just in terms of, you know, actually being able to keep track of all my stuff. So I highly, highly recommend it if you guys get a chance. It's essentially just like a mind map tool, and it's awesome. It just works so well, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it's free. It's free because you're not a business. I think their main target audience is like businesses, so it's a great tool to use and take advantage of because it's free. Oops. Let's do a little blue eye for her. I reached my max layers. Bugger. How many layers do I have? Okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough. That's a lot of layers. Damn. Okay, right. I'm gonna have to start transferring some of this through. Right, I'm gonna. Okay, I have to cut this in half again. Oh, why does it do that? Okay, I'm gonna call this one first quarter, second quarter. And this one, we're going to delete all of these bad boys. Double check I saved it. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I want to do backup as well. Safety first. I don't want to lose this because I'm liking the progress on this so far. I'm going to have to animate all this, which is going to be a nightmare, but we will worry about that another day. First half backup. Okay, good one. Oh, you guys type very fast. I'm I keep missing all this. Sorry. Let's have a look. The person you're drawing, Badgerfan, looks really evil. Good. She's not supposed to be a good character. She's supposed to be a morally ambiguous character. She's not going to be very bothered by the fact that her mercenary is dead, because she has the money to buy another one, and she's still got her pig mercenary. So yeah, she's not going to be a very nice character. Now we'll keep working on the second half, second quarter. Get rid of that. Okay, so I should have some more layers now. Too accurate there. Let's just do a bit of a smudge. That'll do. That's cool. Ta-da! Oh, don't delete too much. Am I missing something? No, that's right. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Shading is easily one of the most important parts. I completely agree. It's crazy. I should probably think of an art style duck. Well, first, I should probably learn to draw. That's hard. Drawing's one of those things that I think everyone is capable of doing. And this is going to sound very stupid. Everyone is capable of doing it. The problem is, it just takes a long time. It takes a long time to learn, and it takes a long time to get good, to get comfortable, and then it takes a long time to get good, and then also you never perfect it. It's just impossible to perfect because there's just so many styles. But I'm so sure that if everyone took a lot of time to just focus on drawing, you get there. it's not like some people are. I think some people are very creative, and I think some people are born with like that part of their brain being stronger. Like some people are better at maths and stuff. But it's one of those things that is a learnable skill. So if you want to get good at drawing, you just have to like put in a lot of work, I think. Like for me, I haven't really studied drawing much. I have done some classes and stuff, also like online courses. But it's just, I think I've just been drawing for so long that now it just looks kind of okay. Kind of not too bad. I think everyone else would be capable of getting their art to the level of kind of not too bad, if they are willing to put in the work. This frog's gonna have some greasy skin as well. Oops, keep forgetting this on different layers. Ba-bum. I have no idea how I'm going to animate all of this. It's going to be an absolute nightmare, but c'est la vie. Don't worry about art style early on. Completely agree, because it'll make you cry. I went through just hundreds of art styles trying to find one that I really like, and I ended up just copying loads of people and just trying to make it good. And in the end, the one that I was doing at the time was the one that ended up being the one that I do now, which is like kind of charcoal-y, sketchy drawing, and I'm happy with it. I think there's other art styles that I'm very envious of, but at the end of the day, you know, that's their style and that's what they learned to do. So I think as cool as it would be to be able to draw like Studio Ghibli style stuff, I think you just need to draw until you're comfortable with the way that you're drawing, which a lot of people don't really want to hear, but it's true. What's wrong with that? Nice. Okay. So she's like, oh, shame. And she's like, oh, why is that a shame? What's going to happen to him? He's like, he's already dead. And it's going to cut to the guy getting ambushed. My world building's way ahead of my drawing. I agree. I think you're a very good writer, Saidan. I think drawing's fun, and it's nice to be able to visualize your art. But I think when you're very skilled at an art form, like if you're good at music, it doesn't mean you need to be able to make a video for your music, right? But I think when you're skilled at writing, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to be able to draw what you're writing. But I think, again, it can be something you can do at the same time. Art is art. So, where's my OBS? Network interrupted. Bugger. Okay, I'm back. It seems to be working now. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm having some connections issues. Sorry. It should be back on now. I apologize. Now let me just reconnect my iPad. Okay, sorry about that. Let me quickly catch up on. I will catch up on stream this time. Let me tell. So. Don't worry about ideas. Yeah, very good advice. Use Pinterest if you really can't think of anything. I agree with everything Duckus is saying. I think it's one of those things that's just. You just need to draw. You just need to draw as much as you can. And don't worry about what you're drawing, just draw anything. and you will get better. It's better if you use references, and it will be better if you do study things like color theory, perspective, figure drawing, things like that. It will get better, but to be honest, it's important to just draw, essentially. Blank. I'm liking all these ideas. They are very cool. You're getting much better. I can see how I was drawing before my project. It's quite literally the drawing of a 5-year-old. I think you are getting better as well. So then, Figma, is that it? Exactly, Throndix. It's a very, very good way. It's a very good tool to use, and it's free. It's spelled exactly that. Figma. I've been using Obsidian for a while. Okay, Obsidian I think is a similar thing, but more designed for world building. But I think you have to pay for Obsidian. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Duckus. But yeah, Figma's free. So it's Figma. It's very, very good. Figma nuts. Animation. Yeah, I agree. Very difficult. I think it's cool in the end, especially with some cool music in the background. So hopefully this will be worth it after I finish this animation. I figured out a while ago that I've got a decent talent at pixel art. Haven't experimented with a lot, but recently. I might try it on stream at some point. I love pixel art. I think it's very cool. It's like a very nice style, and it works in so many different formats. Like you could do Dark Souls, you could do Studio Ghibli, or you could do Star Wars, and they'd all look awesome as pixel art stuff. Everyone can draw, even if it's just 6 men. I agree, absolutely. I have a big P exam tomorrow, which counts for my final diploma grade. I definitely need to sleep. I need to say goodbye. I'll see you next Wednesday. Oh, thanks, Rodix. Sorry. Good to have you here, buddy. And I'll see you next time for sure. Loot of the Moon Tree. That's a cool name. Loot of the Pale Crescent. Solid black eyes like a barn owl. Very cool. But I suggest getting a small book that you can carry around with you and just sketch anything you see interesting. Yeah, Duck, I'm liking all of this advice. I recommend all of the same things. I think all of this is fantastic advice. Obsidian's free. Oh, nice. Okay, so Obsidian I think is made specifically for world building, right? Loot the Patron of the Moon and Nighttime Traveler. I'll see if I can find my animation that I made at the start of the year. Yeah, send it into the Discord if you can. So I have a large book. I think Duck is saying to bring a small book because you can put it in your pocket or in a bag or something, and then you don't have to worry about it. You can just take it with you, and then you can just draw in it whenever you need to draw in it. So it could be a cool way to do it. Perhaps a cult would tribute gem and bones and special tree carved to resemble the deity, perhaps. Blank, have you seen Game of Thrones? They do that in Game of Thrones. The old gods, I think, have... is it the old ones who have their faces carved in the tree? They're very cool. Okay, right. We've done the second quarter, so we've got to do the first quarter. I think it's important to get all this shading done before I try to do the animation, because it will help me a lot if I can just get that out of the way. It's taking a bit of a while, but it's looking good so far. Oops. If we just whole thing and then just erase some of it like this. It's a little bit easier. Do the same with Froggy Boy. Speed run all of this shading. Oh gosh, I can't keep up with you guys. Something around A5 or smaller is my suggestion. That's yeah, I've got an A5 sketchbook. I think that's a great suggestion. Makes it easier because you can just pop it in your pocket. Pocket full? Check. I can fit that in my pocket. I got big pockets. Oh, what a surprise! The British artists think so. I think a lot of artists, a lot of the advice Duck is giving is good advice that a lot of international artists would also give. That's just stereotyping. Positive stereotyping, I would say. If I do that, I'd be distracted. Art is art, Saidan. Should always try to do as much art as possible. Not just writing. Strong. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, because you're only going to see these clips for like a second or two each. So as long as they look okay, that's the most important thing. I will put some texture on the floor as well. Some big shadows behind them. See, shadows coming in for the win once again. Immediately looks much better. Hoping I'm going to have enough layers here. I seem to say that a lot. Looking good. I'm reading Game of Thrones. Oh, good. Which book you on? I'm inspired. Scalewood Tree is that grand magic in my world. Nice. Oh gosh, I missed Crow leaving. All my friends, I must be away. Must take my dog for a walk. I didn't know you had a dog, Crow. I don't know if you posted it in the pet Discord. Thanks for joining us, mate. Appreciate you being here. But good to have you. Thank you for your company. Yeah, Duck, I would try to join your streams as much as possible. I think I'm free generally when you are streaming, but generally if I'm honest, I'm looking after my kids. So I think I generally see that you've been streaming after I have already put my kids to bed, and you've already gone offline. So I'm sorry I haven't managed to make it for some of them. I will try to do more in the future. I enjoyed your last one. I was watching the one where you were doing the guys marching from the penitentiary. That was a good one. Again, it doesn't really need to be perfect. As long as it looks okay. That's the most important thing. Let's give these bad boys a texture. Okay, nice. Sorry, I'm getting in the zone there. Blank his world building is. He's in the zone. The crown things are done by watch time. They do swap between people, but I guess, you know, if people are like switching off, well, maybe. I don't know how they work. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So that's the first quarter. It's gonna be like talking. They're gonna be moving around. Got the second quarter, and then that's when it switches over to the second half, which is this bit. So we can get rid of all of this now. God, this is going to be very annoying to edit. Hopefully it's going to look cool. Oh, this guy, just a little bit of cool lore. This guy is from a cult, which I'm going to call the Murderer's Litter. And it's going to be people who worship the dragon of murder, the cat, the black cat. And then we're going to have these black paw prints with scratches imprinted on like tattooed on their body. And obviously the dragon of murder doesn't like people. It doesn't even like people looking at them or knowing that they exist, it exists, she exists. But these guys kind of worship him. So they're kind of a bit messed up, but they're cool. But you read these comments like a sea slug. Yeah, Lance, like, I'm sorry. I have such a short attention span. I swear I have like some kind of attention deficit disorder, but it's difficult to keep up with chat, and I'm not a very good streamer, to be honest. It's difficult for me to keep up and read and draw at the same time. If life gets in the way, I won't blame you. Thanks. I appreciate that. I really would. I enjoyed your first stream, actually, the one that I went to. But I'm definitely up for seeing more. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch a few more in the future. The British are so polite. They say sorry more than Canadians. I guess that's where we came from. It was an import. We brought it over for you. Manners are important. I agree. Sledding game. I gotta check that out. Right. I think we have to call it there. I apologise about the cuts in the connection. To be honest, that's been happening to me with work. But I think I will have to talk to my internet provider about that. But thanks again for being here, guys. I honestly super appreciate it. It makes it much easier for me to focus and draw and to get stuff done. And I appreciate you guys let me bounce the idea of the podcast off of you. Again, I've been a bit unsure about it, but I think it's the right direction to move in. And again, like I said, I'm not going to stop doing the content. Hopefully it won't affect the output of videos, because I just draw them in my free time anyway. But it could be a good, like, nice additional monthly thing to potentially look forward to. So, and hopefully I'll be able to get some cool YouTubers on there. So we'll see. So I will say good night and goodbye for now, I think. Again, I think I managed to get a lot done there. The stuff is looking pretty cool. I must say, I think that's my favorite image of the stream. I love pre-tech body parts, and I haven't done them enough, really. So I think she's looking pretty cool. But thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it, as always. And hopefully I'll have another video up in no time. I hope all of you guys have a good night. Thanks again, Dark, Sidan, Blank. Who else? I don't know if anyone else is still in the stream. I think Throndix is left. Thanks again, Throndix and Crow. We had a few other people as well. Who was it? Oh, I can check the thing. We had Mr. Louis. Thanks for being here as well. Appreciate it. Chris dropped in for a quick hello, which was funny. Harold Dodo Brazen. I think he dropped in for right at the start. But yeah, I really appreciate all you guys being here and sticking with me. Hopefully we'll be able to get this animation out sooner rather than later. Pre-tech is pretty sick. I agree. I need to draw it a bit more, I think. Duckers. Great stream. Thanks, Mr. Louis. Appreciate you being here as well. And thanks for joining in and joining the Discord. And your idea, we'll get on to that idea of that writing challenge for December. I think it sounds like a cool project. That's why you're stealing the basic idea. Go for it. No idea is new. I think that's a good way to say it. So you can take it and run with it. Blank, appreciate you being here as well, of course. That was good for world building. Yeah, you were on a roll there with your world building ideas. I hope you're writing these down. And good day and good night to all the Brits. Yeah, and I will see you guys either in the Discord or I'll see you next week. Thanks again, guys. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Have a good evening. Love you all lots, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.